Hello from Epcot. It just poured down rain, but I'm here to go back to the Flower and Garden Festival one more time. Flower and Garden concludes in about a month, but I wanted to make one more trip to Epcot to eat some food and maybe have some drinks. There's definitely still some weather, but I'm hungry. It's about 6 o'clock right now. The park closes in a few hours, and I just want to get some food again and have some drinks and maybe ride Living with the Land, maybe see the fireworks. I like to try to have a very definitive beginning and conclusion to my festival trips to the theme parks, and the rest of the month is going to be really busy, so I'm at Epcot today. The weather might actually benefit me a little bit, hopefully with waiting for some of the booths because it is a Saturday today, which is going to be busier. Right up there, security, heading inside the park. I'm thinking about going to Living with the Land first, just while it's still daylight outside. Apparently Living with the Land has been decorated to Disney princesses. There's a Moana, Belle, and Rapunzel area in Living with the Land. Also, this is what I have to work with today. I have 3 festival gift cards that I need to use. So I'm going to go over to the land, but I do want to see how much I have on here. So I'm going to go to Gateway Gifts. Space Earth is currently down, but I have about $40 between the 3 of these gift cards to use today. So Disney did announce the official opening date for Geo 82. This is going to get annoying quickly. This is the bar that I think is right here, which is going to be June 4th. They also announced the name of the Magic Kingdom Pirates of the Caribbean bar, the Beacon Barrel bar, that's opening up in late 2025. There's also an event called Cool Kids Summer coming to Disney. That's going on May 27th through September 1st, and that's pretty much going to be dance parties just all around Disney World. One of those dance parties is going to be right here in Communicore Hall, which is actually going to close in just a couple days. The day that I'm here, this is about to close, so I'm going to try to go in here and get some food, but I'm heading over to the land. I talk with my hands a lot. I've gotten better about it. I used to just do this in every video. Something that I'm very consciously aware of is that I've never met Figment. I still want to meet Figment, but it concludes a meeting in the earlier part of the day. We usually get to Epcot sort of later in the day. We like to try to meet up here maybe after work or something, so we just haven't met Figment. When I checked on the app, it was a 10-minute wait for Living with the Land, so I'm gonna go and ride this again while it's still daylight out. It doesn't seem too bad of a wait. It's probably about 10 minutes. Living with the Land, I think, is one of those rides, just for me specifically, that I really have a preference riding it during daytime. I'm sure it's still a lovely ride at night, but it's a greenhouse ride, so that ended up pretty much being about a 5 to 10 minute wait. I'm sitting all the way in the back row back here, so pretty much just riding this just for the greenhouse part.
Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being.
Well, I thought that I was going to only film this part of the ride, but I don't think I've ever had that perspective before, just filming behind me.
These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins and minerals, while others are well adapted to growing in less than ideal conditions.
This is really cool. So this is the Moana section of the ride. How awesome is this? I'm so glad that I did this. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything, but I probably am, just on either side of the boat. This is a pretty cool perspective, just being able to film this from the back of the boat and filming backwards. So this is for Beauty and the Beast. I think over here, definitely you can see the rose and the candelabra, the clock, and the teacup, and the mirror and the book. And then the little tea set way over there too. And this is awesome. Look at this.
Using our nutrient film
This is a little
This technique
Princess and the Frog Tiana.
And recycles water and nutrients.
Little area over here with those beignets and the trumpets. I was back over there, and here's another Princess and the Frog. Little display with the Mardi Gras feathers. and just all of the foods that correspond to their story. It's really cool. And
Plants
then
grown
here's
in this
the
way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing
little
methods.
area.
That saves water and
It's
increases
adorable. There's
production.
paintings and all the
aquaponics
flowers.
system-
This is incredible. Look at this.
In
It's
our lab,
Rapunzel's
Epcot
tower
scientists are
over
working
there.
with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a number of innovative
Frying pan
projects.
and chess
The
and
goal of these
painting in
efforts
pastel.
is
Oh
to
my god, there was a little
produce
pastel
higher yielding and
back there
better
and
quality.
dance shoes. That was so cool. Oh, and then there's the satchel and apples. This was so awesome. I love that they did that. There's another pastel. There are probably so many different pastels that I missed. Maybe, I don't know. That was really cool. This is one of the most nostalgic sections of a ride that I genuinely hope does not change anytime soon, this particular soundtrack. Okay, that was Living with the Land. I'll take it off here and then finally go get something to eat. If there's anything to give you an appetite, it's ride Living with the Land. So that was really cool. Moana, Belle, Tiana, and Rapunzel all represented in Living with the Land. All right, so now I'm going back to Communicore Hall to get something. Or at least I think so, I don't know. It's just going to be closing soon. To have a dance party here will be pretty cool. I am actually excited about that. Specifically a goofy dance party, that'll be pretty cool. If they're closing this for the dance party, then I don't know where the Farmer's Feast is going to go, but I'm gonna get this grilled beef strip loin. So I actually got a table and Rainbow Connection is playing right now, which I think is absolutely beautiful. This soundtrack that they have playing in this building, I love it. So this is the grilled beef strip loin with tomato risotto featuring, I'm trying to pronounce this, arborio rice, tomato puree blanc, and basil pesto. And this looks delicious. It's going to sound like an exaggeration, but that was one of the best foods I've gotten at Flower and Garden. I was going to say at any Epcot Food Festival, but I think that would be way too assertive of a statement to make. But that was just so good. The grilled beef strip loin with the pesto. I love pesto so much. This is going to look a lot different here in a couple weeks. But I'm heading back outside now to go get some more food, I think just around the showcase. This is the Florida Fresh Market, which we spent a lot of time there last time. So I'm gonna go to the World Showcase and I'll try to go the opposite way that we went last time, which I need to, sometimes I have to go back to the video and reference that to just know which way that I went. So we did go over towards Mexico. We spent a lot of time actually in World Celebration on our first trip, on our only other trip, but we've gone to the festival this year. This is cool. This was not in bloom last time. This is the Emotional Garden. I mispronounced ennui over here because that's not in my vocabulary. How they've been able to irrigate these flowers and make them look nice, especially after Florida's been suffering from a bit of a drought recently, is very impressive. So the Beach Grub and Yacht Grub booths are both new this year, and this does really intrigue me, this s'mores bar, but I think I'm going over to the Yacht Grub booth. The seafood over here does look really good, but there's something way over here that I think that I'm a little bit more interested in, which is going to be this trio of dips and chips. So here are my dips and chips, and I need to find a place to eat them. I'm standing here by the Honey Bistro. So this is the trio of dips and chips with a caramelized onion dip, a whipped feta dip with caviar, and then a pimento cheese dip. These are the house-made potato chips, caramelized onion dip, caviar and whipped feta dip, pimento cheese dip, which all of those were just incredible. I wish I had more chips, though I think I'm heading into the showcase. I don't think I'm going to stop here. I lied. I'm going to stop here and get the chicken and waffles because they used to have the flatbread pizza, which we loved, and I need to try this so I can have an actual opinion about it, I guess. So now I'm at a table pretty much right across from where I was just a second ago. So this is the chicken and waffles, crispy chicken, and a sweet honey jalapeno bacon cornbread waffle with whipped honey butter and spicy honey. This looks really good for the price. And then I decided to go a little crazy, and I got the honey peach cobbler freeze. And this is with blueberry vodka and streusel. So that looks pretty good. I don't know if that was worth the price. That is about double what this was. So that was actually really good. I have not tried this yet. Whoa, that's strong. It sort of tastes like insect repellent. I'm gonna have to think about this. Yeah, it is starting to rain again, so we need to try to get my umbrella out or get some cover. I tried to strip the drink. I don't think that I'm a fan, but the chicken and waffles was good. Brennan was really sad because they did replace the flatbread, but this is for Brennan. All these other people think that I'm talking to them, but I'm really just talking to you, and that's a reference that won't be relevant for much longer. But Brennan, the chicken and waffles is good. I liked it a lot with the butter and the hot honey. It really did work, but I do miss the flatbread too. But this drink, it stopped raining, I think a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty good about food, at least now. I'm probably going to try to get something else around the showcase, but I do like what I've had. I do have to prepare to say goodbye to all of my favorite topiaries. I don't know if I'm going to mention every single menu that I pass. I love scallops so much, but I don't love the green beans and potatoes and vinaigrette. Pretty sure the fireworks are in less than an hour, and it's still not even dark yet. Yeah, Luminous is in less than an hour, so I have that much time to try to finish off my last gift card. It's still raining, not enough to be like annoying, but it's persistent. I think that it's definitely getting a little bit busier now, though, now that it's really not at least torrentially downpouring, which to be fair, maybe it never actually did. It just sort of consistently rained a little bit earlier today for a couple hours. I think I'm going to bypass France just because I don't really want to wait in this line. Yeah, I think that I'm okay. So I'm going to head over towards Morocco. The rain's getting a little bit harder now, but again, it's not terrible. I did fill up a lot back there, so I'm going to be a little bit pickier, I think, with what I want to end up getting. I'm a little bit thrown off by just the weather and how late it gets dark now, which I love that, but the fireworks starting in like 30 minutes. That does not really give me a lot of time to make it around Epcot. I think I am going to take a little bit of a break from the savory and maybe get the frushi over here in Japan. I'm pretty sure they have frushi, right? I so often mix up my festivals and what these food booths have. Whatever we get at the festivals is always contingent on which direction that we go. So they do have the frushi. Okay, good. Gotta go ahead and get that. But if we ever start over at Mexico, then we make our way over here. We're usually pretty full by the time we make it to the American Adventure. And then if I start over here and then go this way, then I get less food over on the other side of the showcase. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get the food over here and then find a place to eat, probably over here somewhere. There's my frushi. It is not easy to hold a camera and an umbrella and frushi at the same time. Well, there are more difficult things to do, but it's inconvenient. There's going to be a table back over here because it is raining right now, but it'll be wet and unfortunate. This is going to be my table way over here for my frushi. It's actually pretty peaceful over here while it's raining. This is the frushi. So this is strawberry, pineapple, and honeydew wrapped in coconut rice and tricolor soy wrap served with coconut cream sauce and a toasted coconut. Japan is one of my favorite gardens. I'm gonna go over here really quickly. That sushi was really good, the frushi. It's just so cool to me. Just the use of water flowing with bamboo, making music. It's a little bit difficult to see at night, but it's so neat. It's still raining, but there is xylophones over here playing from the water wheel. I'm trying to think of what this song is, but I am struggling. I don't know if it's because the festival's been going on for several months or because it's raining. This might be a little bit off calibration, but it's still such a cool little garden. You can see how much it's raining maybe. Sounds like the concert is letting go now, so that's going to be fun, trying to navigate across the American Adventure Pavilion. They just made an announcement that Luminous was in half an hour and they lit the torches. This is the crowd coming out of the American Adventure, which isn't too terrible. I have enough for maybe 1 or 2 more food samples. I think that I got everything that I wanted over here. The American Adventure Pavilion. Yes. Those oysters were good. Okay, I got the oysters instead of the scallops this year. I feel good about that. But I still need to get something pretty soon because I do not want to hold on to this lanyard again. The drink that I got was really expensive, so I didn't use this for that, and I probably should have because this would have been completely used by now. I don't remember there being anything that I absolutely needed to have. Unfortunately, unlike SeaWorld, I do know that Disney will have all of their food through the end of the night at the booths. I don't think that I've ever encountered, in recent memory at least, a booth running out of food. This area in Italy is open. Oh my god, I might actually watch the fireworks over here. They're in about 20 minutes now. I think that I'm going to get something over here in Italy. So maybe that wasn't fair. Maybe Disney has run out of stuff before and I'm just not remembering it at their food booths at the festivals throughout the decade that I have come to Disney World. I'm going to come back to Italy. Goodbye, Seven Dwarfs. So I'm bypassing Germany and heading over to China. I wanted one more savory and one more sweet option. I got this last time. I just made an announcement that Luminous is starting in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna get my savory item over here at China and then go back to Italy for my final sweet item, which is going to be this right here, the pan-fried vegetable dumplings. Luckily there's no lines because everyone's ready for the fireworks, but those are my dumplings. I gotta say goodbye to my little panda buddies over here, but I am going back over to Italy. These dumplings might fall under the probably not worth it category for 2 tiny little dumplings. There it is again. So it's starting in 10 minutes. I should have plenty of time to get my cannoli. I have 10 minutes until Luminous, which I haven't seen in a while. I'm excited to see Luminous again. I just have like $5 more on this gift card. All right, and I made it back to Italy. with plenty of time to spare. And I'm going to be getting this chocolate dirt cannoli and then trying to watch the fireworks over here somewhere. And there it is, my cannoli with a little gummy worm. And I have less than 5 minutes to try to find a spot over here. Try to find a spot being a very liberal statement because it is very quiet. The fireworks start in 1 minute, but this is the pan-fried vegetable dumplings. Oh no. From China, filled with bok choy, carrot, shiitake mushroom, ginger garlic, and sesame. And then this is from Italy, the chocolate dirt cannoli, a cannoli shell with cookies and cream cannoli, cream filling. So Luminous is over, but the finale for Happily Ever After should be happening here in a minute. That's the finale. So I just watched what I think was the finale of Happily Ever After, which was really cool because there were actually moments in Happily Ever After that really coincided with Luminous. There was a section of Luminous that was singing about love, and the heart fireworks were going off in Magic Kingdom, so that was really cool. All right, so I'm heading home. I stood right over here to eat my food and watch the fireworks, which I'm glad that I got those last couple foods, and I finished my gift cards, all 3 gift cards that I brought tonight. Maybe a little bit unnecessarily stressful to use all of my different gift cards, but I wanted to do it. I still don't love all of the songs that they use in Luminous, but the message is very beautiful. I don't know, I got goosebumps at one point. It's just a nice message of unity and empathy that I think is just really important, and I don't know, I'm liking Luminous more. And then this song, which is just so beautiful. I want this to be my lullaby so bad. It's just so peaceful and pretty. So I'm passing through Norway right now. Is that the end of the soundtrack?
Good evening. On behalf of everyone here at Epcot, we thank you for joining us today on a journey filled with discovery, innovation, and the magic of human connection.
Yep. So the park is closed, but I did what I wanted to come here to do tonight after going to work and only being here for just a few hours, which was really just to have one more trip to the festival before it concludes in about a month. Just sort of presuming that I wouldn't be able to make it back one more time before it ends. I'm taking the long and quiet way out of Epcot. Could you imagine if this was still like a character dining restaurant? There's still no update about Test Track and when that's opening, which is going to be presumably sometime soon this summer. There's also Starlight. That's, I think, part of Cool Kids Summer too, but that doesn't have an opening date yet either. I forgot some of the food booths like Brunch Cot over here, one at the entrance of the World Showcase Promenade. They have a fruit cereal shake over here that is delicious that I forgot about. But like always, I got some new stuff and some old stuff, and had a good final trip at the festival this year. My next trip probably being for Cool Kids Summer to do some of those dance parties. If there was a character to give a dance party to inside Community Hall, it would be Goofy, so I'm glad that they did that. And then there's this bar, which I think has booked availability for the first month, if not beyond. So I have no idea when I'm going to be able to come and check that out with Brennan, but it is an adults-only bar, which is very interesting. I'm also very glad that the weather subsided and it didn't get worse than it did. I'm glad that I justified bringing my umbrella, at least. I think that we've actually been relatively fortunate and lucky with weather this year. It's been very dry, and it's usually very, very rainy by this point. So I'm ready for it to be rainy, not really ready for the thunderstorms and lightning. I didn't really pay much attention to the topiaries this trip, other than the ones that I love paying attention to because they've always been so goofy. These have been very impressive though, these new ones this year for Moana. So that was my trip to Epcot on a relatively rainy evening to go to the Flower and Garden Festival one more time before it concludes, and using the rest of my gift cards that I've been accruing throughout the various festivals. And as of this festival, this is just sort of festival season leading into the summer, so I'm sort of glad that all the food festivals are finally over for at least the time being until next year. There's Food and Wine coming up relatively soon, but all of the other theme parks and their food festivals, it's pretty much over. So I'm happy with that. I love the food festivals, but it's nice just to go to the park when it's normal. So thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye. It's the monorail, and I'm going home because I'm tired because I worked today and then I came to Epcot.